There are now 117 protected areas in the United States, known as national monuments. They're located in 31 states, ranging in size from just a few acres to millions of acres in the case of marine monuments in the Pacific. Monuments protect a wide variety of objects of historical, cultural, or scientific interest, each of them designated by a president or an act of Congress because of its special and irreplaceable value. We'll take you now to northern New Mexico, where the Rio Grande del Norte National Monument was designated by President Obama just a few years ago. We'll join a group of journalists rafting down the river through the monument, learning what makes it such a special place.
I think that there are certain places that are just so special that we have to leave them as is. This isn't just a river, this isn't just some sagebrush and some trees, this is a way of life for a lot of people. My name is Nick Streit. I own Taos Fly Shop, and we do fly fishing trips here in the Rio Grande Canyon and elsewhere in northern New Mexico. We wanted to bring down a group of writers and different people from different media sources to really show them what we have here in the Rio Grande del Norte National Monument.
Queso, queso, cheesy, cheesy.
So that they can share with their readers and their viewers how special this place is and why we need to continue to have it protected. The Rio Grande del Norte National Monument has been in existence for four years now, maybe more. There's some conversations happening on a national level about some of the national monuments that have been created by President Clinton, President Obama, whether or not they're warranted.
There's a lot of flat water out there. There's a couple rapids.
We just want to tell our story. Rather than a case of federal overreach, this was a case of the federal government really listening to the people.
All right, everyone stretched? Ready?
Everybody said, we want this. This is going to be good for us. This is going to be good for business. This is going to be good for a place that we all care about and protect it. And the federal government listened. Yeah, watch your step.
Those yuccas are sharp.
Start to get a few views of the river here. All the talk that's been going about the monument, generating a lot of buzz and getting people here. And that's really, for us, translated into, I think, just a town in general, a lot more business.
I'm gonna start pumping.
I think that's one of the things our monument designation has done for us, is it's really gotten a lot of people together to talk about a resource.
A few safety things. Be very careful getting in and out of the raft.
Can't hardly wait. You know, my goal is to catch a few fish.
Okay, guys, everybody back paddle too.
Everybody go forward.
Yes. Hi, I'm Steve Harris from Pilar, New Mexico. I'm the executive director of Rio Grande Restoration and the president of Farfling Adventures, a rafting company. I guess I'm the geologist. All these moundy-shaped mountains are little volcanoes that have spewed successive lava flows all into this gorge here. And what occasioned this is the tectonic plates are moving apart slowly. So we're actually on the eastern edge of a volcanic rift valley. It's the largest rift valley in North America. This is the water supply for probably 15 million people in the United States and Mexico.
Wonderful. You can paddle in the boat.
You're all set, aren't you? You're rigged. You go fish.
I'm Brad Powell. I'm the Southwest Region Director for Trout Unlimited. There's 150 plus national monuments. Simply put, national monuments are special places in this country. They can be created by Congress, they can be created by the president. Some are small, some are large. But these are the places that define America.
Pretty gorgeous, ain't it?
These lands are Bureau of Land Management lands, but these are our lands. Across the country, all of us own a piece of these lands, and the president has this unique authority to designate these areas as places that we're going to care about for years and years to come. And that's what he's done here using an act called the Antiquities Act. And this particular national monument, many of the communities around the national monument have been severely impacted by a mine closure. and they have a need to find a new economic sustainable base.
I think there's a lot of concern in general in the state about how our public lands are used, and that applies to the monument and to other public lands throughout the state. I'm Rebecca Moss. I'm a reporter with the Santa Fe New Mexican, and I think some people really feel strongly that public land should be public and as open to the public, as free to the public as possible, and others feel like that federal ownership infringes on private rights.
A lot of people think that national monuments were created as a result of the federal government grabbing private land or state land to create these monuments, and that's just not true. My name is Katie Enders. I'm a journalist with the Guardian newspaper. Federal land designations affect federal land. So I think that's probably the biggest misconception that we come across, is that national monuments were the result of some sort of land grab.
Many people confuse them with national parks, and it's their belief that you can't fish or you can't hunt or you can't camp without severe restrictions. That's not the case in national monuments.
I'm an angler. I can fish on monuments. I'm a hunter. I can hunt on monuments. My name's Andrew McKean. I'm the editor-in-chief of Outdoor Life magazine. There's not widespread prohibitions on the recreational use of these landscapes. And to me, if they've got that one additional level of protection, they're not going to be sold off. They're not going to be exploited for energy development. To me, that's the core of the Antiquities Act. We're preserving the landscape that is ancient and an antique.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. You better shove off.
This is a possible pretty splashy rapid right here.
My dad came to northern New Mexico back in the late 60s and opened up a fly shop in about 1980 in Taos.
You talking about Comanche Creek?
Right now we employ over 20 people between our two shops. Taos is not a big economy, so, having a half a dozen fishing guides and people in the shop working for me and making a living is a big deal in a town like this. We also bring in a lot of people to fish that spend nights in hotels and eat at restaurants. And there's a lot of money that gets spread around the community just by having this attraction here and this place to come fly fishing.
If there were no like rafting or outdoors or fishing stores or anything like that, I do feel like part of Taos's identity would sort of be removed.
Water is life. Water brings people to different locations, and we have this amazing river that people come from all over to see.
2 juvenile herons are up in that nest. That used to be an osprey nest. I've fished and guided in many places throughout the world, and this river still remains one of my top 5 rivers, if not the top river that I've ever experienced in my life.
Every monument has at its core something really worth preserving and essential and worth celebrating. I think my audience, and me too, question some of the large scale of some of these monuments. These things are often named at the very last days of a presidential administration. It looks like it's a legacy from a president that's leaving office and has no political capital to spend anymore. And it's just a stamp, an identity on the landscape. I think the great thing about the opportunity to review monuments is an invitation. If you've got a perspective on it, speak your mind. This is the time to let your voice be known about it.
The goal of a national monument is to ensure that these lands are going to be there for our children and their children, and that great treasures like this river remain open and available for the public into the future.
This is so much a part of our identity as a people. And on top of that, I mean, this is federal land. This is as much mine as it is someone from Arkansas or someone from California. This is an important place, and once it's gone forever, so we need to keep it.